the new business battlefield. In today's world, every business is a digital business. This transformation has brought incredible efficiency and reach. It has also created a new invisible battlefield. This battlefield is not in a physical location. It exists inside your computer networks. It exists in your cloud servers. It exists in your employees' email inboxes. The attackers are sophisticated and relentless. They include organized criminal groups seeking financial gain. They include state-sponsored actors aiming for industrial espionage. They use automated tools to scan for weaknesses constantly, day and night. Their methods are always evolving. Deceptive phishing emails trick employees into giving up passwords. Crippling ransomware can hold your entire operation hostage until a payment is made. The threats are no longer distant news stories about large corporations. They are immediate and personal to businesses of every size. A small manufacturing firm can be shut down by ransomware just as easily as a multinational bank. A local healthcare clinic can face massive fines for a patient data breach, crippling its ability to serve the community. If you have valuable information, you are a target. Customer lists, financial records, intellectual property, operational plans. The question is not if you will be targeted, but when. And more importantly, how prepared you will be when that moment arrives. Ignoring this reality is like leaving the front door of your office wide open overnight. The consequences of a security failure extend far beyond the initial technical problem. A single breach can trigger a cascade of devastating business impacts. First, direct financial costs, paying ransoms, hiring forensic investigators, covering legal fees, then regulatory penalties, staggering under laws like GDPR or HIPAA. Operations can grind to a halt, leading to lost revenue for every hour offline. Perhaps most damaging is the loss of trust. Customers will take their business elsewhere if they believe their data is not safe with you. Your hard-earned reputation can be shattered in an instant. This is the stark reality of the modern business environment. Security is not an IT problem. It is a fundamental business survival problem. Buying more security software or firewalls is no longer enough. Technology alone cannot solve a problem that involves people, processes, and sophisticated adversaries. You need a human leader who understands this complex landscape. You need someone whose sole focus is to defend your most critical assets and ensure your business can withstand an attack. This is not a part-time job for an already overburdened IT manager. It requires a dedicated, strategic role focused entirely on security. Information is more than data. It's your business. We often use the words information and data interchangeably, but it is crucial for business leaders to understand the distinction. Data is the raw material. The individual customer names, the transaction amounts, the product specifications. It exists in databases and spreadsheets. Information, however, is what you create from that data. It is the organized, contextualized, and processed asset that drives your business forward. It is the curated list of your most profitable customers. It is the secret formula for your flagship product. It is the strategic plan that outlines your growth for the next 5 years. This information is the lifeblood of your company. Think about what makes your business unique and competitive. It is most likely not the office furniture or the computer hardware. It is the proprietary information you have developed and accumulated over time. Your customer relationships are built on the information you hold about their preferences and history. Your operational efficiency relies on finely tuned process information. Your innovation stems from your intellectual property and research data. In the digital economy, this accumulated information is frequently the most valuable asset on your balance sheet, even if it is not explicitly listed there. Its loss or compromise would be catastrophic. Because this information is so valuable, it has become the primary target for attackers. They are not trying to steal your servers. They are trying to steal the information that resides on them. A hacker who exfiltrates your customer database can sell it on the dark web or use it for identity theft. A competitor who gains access to your product roadmap can beat you to market. An attacker who encrypts your financial records can bring your entire company to its knees, demanding a ransom to restore access. Protecting the physical office was the priority of the last century. Protecting the flow and storage of critical information is the defining business challenge of this one. Therefore, The protection of this core asset cannot be an afterthought. It must be a central pillar of your business strategy. Just as you have a chief financial officer to manage your financial assets, you must have a leader responsible for managing your information assets. This requires a shift in mindset. Information security is not a cost center. It is a value preservation function. It is the mechanism by which you ensure the continuity, integrity, and confidentiality of the very thing that gives your business its competitive edge. Without a clear owner for this responsibility, your most valuable asset is left dangerously exposed. The risk to ROI bridge, your path to security. For too long, security has been discussed in terms of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Executives are often presented with complex technical threats and expensive, confusing solutions. This makes it difficult to make sound business decisions. The conversation needs to change. We need to move from a vague sense of risk to a clear understanding of business value. This essay introduces a practical framework to do just that, the risk to ROI bridge. This approach is designed to translate threats into business metrics: cost, revenue, return on investment. It provides a clear, logical path from risk to reward. The core idea of the risk to ROI bridge is simple. Every security risk your business faces carries a potential cost. This cost can be calculated by looking at the probability of the event and the expected business impact. For example, what is the likely financial damage from a ransomware attack that shuts down your operations for 3 days? By hiring a dedicated security officer, you are not just buying security, you're making a strategic investment to reduce the probability and impact of these costly events. The reduction in expected financial loss is your return on investment. It is a measurable and defensible number that can be tracked over time. Throughout this essay, we will walk across this bridge together. We will start on the side of risk, exploring the specific threats that businesses like yours face every day. We will then introduce the security officer as the architect and builder of the bridge. Architect-builder, the single point of accountability who can manage these risks. We will detail the specific duties of this role, from creating policies, training staff, responding to incidents, to managing vendors. Each duty will be directly linked to a reduction in a specific quantifiable business risk. This creates a clear line of sight between the security officer's actions and the protection of your bottom line. Finally, we will arrive on the other side of the bridge, measurable ROI. We will provide simple, practical metrics and key performance indicators, KPIs, that you can use to measure the effectiveness of your security program. You will learn how to calculate the value of avoided incidents, reduced downtime, and lower insurance premiums. This is not about technical jargon. It is about business performance. The goal is to empower you, the business leader, to treat security not as an expense to be minimized, but as a strategic investment to be optimized. By the end, you will have a clear roadmap for hiring a security officer and proving their value to your organization. The risk landscape, the external threat, hackers at the digital gates, the internal danger, when risk comes from within, the supply chain blind spot, third-party vulnerabilities, the deception epidemic, phishing, smishing, vishing. Section 5. The digital hostage crisis, ransomware's paralyzing power. Section 6. The weight of the law, navigating regulatory minefields. Section 1. The external threat, hackers at the digital gates. The most visible threat to any business is the external attacker. These are the hackers you read about in the news. They operate from across the globe, probing your digital defenses day and night. Their motives are diverse. Many are part of sophisticated criminal syndicates, driven by pure financial profit. They seek to steal credit card numbers. They target customer data. They steal financial information to sell on the dark web. Others are state-sponsored groups conducting economic espionage. They look to steal intellectual property. They steal trade secrets to give their industries an advantage. A smaller but dangerous group is hacktivists. They may target you for political reasons or ideological reasons, aiming to cause disruption and reputational damage. These attackers are not lone individuals in a basement. They are organized and well-funded. They use business-like strategies to maximize ROI. They develop and sell malware as a service. They offer customer support for ransomware tools. They share intelligence on an industrial scale. They run automated scanners, constantly searching the internet for common vulnerabilities, like unpatched software or weak passwords. Even small businesses are constantly being tested. Your company's digital front door is rattled by countless automated bots every single day, searching for an easy way in. The methods these attackers use are constantly evolving. While brute force attacks that guess passwords are still common, the more advanced threats involve exploiting newly discovered software flaws, sometimes before the software vendors themselves are even aware of them. These are known as zero-day exploits. 0 days are powerful weapons in an attacker's arsenal. They target web applications for coding errors that let them inject malicious commands or extract data from databases. The technical complexity makes it nearly impossible for a non-specialist to keep up. It requires constant vigilance, threat intelligence monitoring, and technical expertise to even know what to look for. While we often focus on threats from the outside, a significant portion of security incidents originate from within an organization. These are known as insider threats. They are not always malicious. In fact, the most common type of insider risk comes from simple human error. Accidentally click on a malicious link, misconfigure a cloud server setting and expose sensitive data to the public internet, lose a company laptop that contains unencrypted customer information. These are not acts of sabotage, but their consequences can be just as devastating as a deliberate external attack. Another category of insider risk is the negligent employee. Share their password with a colleague, use unauthorized personal devices for work, transfer sensitive company files to an insecure personal cloud storage account. Their actions are not intended to cause harm, but their disregard for established security policies creates dangerous openings for attackers. A single employee using password 123 for a critical system can undermine millions of dollars in security technology. Then there is the most damaging, though less frequent type of insider, the malicious insider. Disgruntled employee seeking revenge, staff member being blackmailed, or an individual motivated by financial gain to steal and sell company secrets. Because these individuals already have legitimate access to your network and data, their activities can be extremely difficult to detect. They know where the valuable information is stored and how to bypass internal controls without raising immediate suspicion. A malicious insider can exfiltrate vast amounts of data over a long period, causing immense and sometimes irreparable damage before they are discovered. Managing insider risk requires a fundamentally different approach than defending against external hackers. It is not about building a higher wall. It is about having visibility and control within your own walls. This involves implementing the principle of least privilege, ensuring employees only have access to the data they absolutely need to do their jobs. Ongoing security awareness training to help employees recognize risks and follow best practices, and monitoring for unusual user behavior that might indicate a compromised account or a malicious actor. Without a leader dedicated to managing these human-centric risks, your organization is left vulnerable from the inside out. In today's interconnected business world, no company operates in isolation. You rely on a complex web of vendors, suppliers, and partners to run your business. You use cloud service providers for hosting, software as a service applications for accounting, software as a service applications for HR, and managed service providers for IT support. While these partners provide essential services and efficiencies, they also represent a significant and often overlooked security risk. Your security is no longer just your own. It is only as strong as the weakest link in your entire digital supply chain. Attackers recognize that it is often easier to breach a smaller, less secure vendor than it is to attack a large, well-defended corporation directly. By compromising one of your trusted third-party partners, they can piggyback on that trusted connection to gain access to your systems. One of the most persistent and effective attack methods does not involve sophisticated software exploits. It targets the weakest link in any security chain: human psychology. This is the world of social engineering, most commonly seen in the form of phishing. Phishing attacks are fraudulent emails designed to look like they come from a legitimate source: a bank, a major software vendor, or even your own company's CEO. Smishing is the same technique applied via SMS text messages. Vishing is voice phishing, where an attacker calls an employee and persuades them to grant remote access to their computer or reveal a password. A particularly dangerous variant is spear phishing, which is a highly targeted attack. The attacker first researches their target online to craft a personalized and highly convincing message. The business impact of a single successful phishing attack can be enormous. Business email compromise is a common outcome. The FBI reports that BEC attacks have resulted in billions of dollars in losses for businesses of all sizes. The real defense lies in building a resilient human firewall. This requires continuous and engaging security awareness training that teaches every single employee how to spot the signs of a phishing attempt. Of all the modern cyber threats, ransomware is perhaps the most feared by business leaders, and for good reason. It's malicious software that infects your network, then silently encrypts your critical files. Documents and spreadsheets, entire databases, even server backups. Once encrypted, your data is inaccessible. Attackers display a ransom note on your screens, demanding payment in cryptocurrency for a decryption key. The impact is immediate and catastrophic. Your operation can grind to a halt. Employees can't access customer records, finance can't process invoices, manufacturing systems go offline. Many attacks now exfiltrate data first. Attackers steal sensitive data before encrypting it, adding a data breach to the shutdown. Preventing ransomware needs a multi-layered defense: robust email filtering, endpoint protection, network segmentation, plus a tested, reliable backup and recovery plan. Beyond the direct threats from attackers, businesses today face a growing and complex landscape of legal and regulatory requirements related to data protection. Regulations like General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, and the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, dictate how you must collect, store, process, and protect data. Failure to comply can result in severe penalties. Under the GDPR, for instance, fines can be as high as 20 million euros or 4% of a company's global annual revenue, whichever is greater. Navigating this regulatory minefield is a significant challenge. The rules are often complex, vary by jurisdiction, and are constantly being updated. It is not enough to simply have security controls in place. You must be able to prove that you have them. This means maintaining detailed documentation. During an audit or investigation, you will be required to produce this evidence. This requires a dedicated function focused on governance, risk, and compliance. Leaving this responsibility scattered across legal, IT, and business departments without a central coordinator is a recipe for failure.